Hello there. So the purpose of this video is to very briefly walk you guys through how to install WordPress manually. So let's get started. The first thing that you want to do is open up your browser and go to wordpress.org. WordPress is a free open source piece of web software, and the WordPress Foundation makes it available and free to everybody. Note that we're at wordpress.org, not wordpress.com. That's something different. That's where they host blogs, and it's part of their money-making operation. They do other stuff, but you can have yourself a free hosted blog here. Anyway, so now we have this guy. This is WordPress. It is a web application. It's a piece of software, and we need to install it on our server. So to do that, you go to your web domain that you bought last week or whenever, /cPanel. cPanel is basically it's the control center for your entire domain. It's not the control center for WordPress. It's the place where you go to install WordPress. Your username and password, if you haven't changed the password already, these things can be found in the new account information email from Lithium. You can actually change your password, but not your username. That I know of. I've asked a lot of people, and apparently it's impossible, but you can change your password right there. Anyway, so first things first, WordPress has two components, the files and the database. The files, which we have downloaded here, tell WordPress how to run. It contains the templates for building the web pages. It contains instructions for how to execute various tasks, and it's very important. And then the second part is the actual data. This is the content of the website, the pages, the posts, the links, the tags, the categories, all the stuff that makes it your website is contained within the database. So we're going to create one right now. Go ahead and find the tab that says Databases. Mine happens to be right here, but that's because I customized my thing. So, and you want to do MySQL Database Wizard. You can pronounce MySQL as MySQL. It really doesn't matter what you put here, just make it short. So mine will be boom, because I plan on destroying this after this tutorial is done. That was the name of the database. In fact, I should write that down. Zergquaus _ boom. And now we need the database user. Just as you use a username to log into Gmail or Facebook or the e-commons or whatever, we're creating a username for this database. We'll only need to remember it once, really. So for simplicity's sake, just make it boom as well. I'm going to use the password generator because it makes a nice big impenetrable password. You have to click this, by the way. It took me like 5 minutes of clicking use password, but you have to do that. I don't remember if I actually copied that, so I'll do it again. There we go. Create the user. Already exists. All right. Pretend that this didn't happen. I'll just do this again. Use flip. Same password as before. Create the user. Sorry for that diversion there. Now's the part where you check your privilege. Make sure you have all the privilege. Next step. There we go. So we've created our database user, and our database password. We have them written here. Now it's time to actually upload WordPress. So I'm going to return home. And we're going to go to this thing, File Manager. Make sure that WebRoot is the thing that you're going to. WebRoot is the folder that people actually go to when they go to your website. So like when we go to iconfafsa.com, then the server will naturally search for something called index, and there it is, index.php. You can see it if you want. It's just a line of code that makes it say that. Say something. There we go. Nothing here. Move along. There's the code that made it. It's just like when you program these things on your local server, that is on your computer. So we need to get this file, up here to our server. So we hit upload, and then you can just drag it in, which I'm not going to do right now because that'll waste time, and this video is supposed to be concise. So I already did that before this. So now that we have our WordPress.zip uploaded, then we need to actually unpack it. So highlight it, go to extract, and just hit extract files. It's going to extract it into this folder that we're currently in. There we go. So now we have something called WordPress. So if we were to go to iconfafsa.com/WordPress, then it would take us to this site, but it's not going to work yet. I want to name this flip, because that's the same name as the, database. So we have our files, we have our database. Those are the two components that I mentioned that make up a WordPress website. But we need to actually tell them that they exist. They don't know that the other one is even there until we actually make the connection manually. So you can just double click on that to go in, and there should be a file in here called wp-config.sample.php. So the first thing that we want to do is rename it to just wp-config. Get rid of the -sample. See that? Just wp-config.php. And the next thing that you want to do is highlight it and go up here to Code Editor. Naturally, it lets you edit code. So there's only 4 things that we actually need to do while we're here, and the comments actually give us a clear idea of what it is. The places that we need to make changes are here on 19, 22, and 25, and then slightly down a bit. So on 19, define DB name, database name here. Well, that was really nice of them, wasn't it? And even in the comments, it says the name of the database for WordPress. So they couldn't have made that clearer. This was my database name. It's my username underscore and the name that I picked. MySQL database username here. Isn't that nice of them? And remember that I made it just the same thing as the database name, because there's no drawback to doing that. And MySQL database password. Password here. What's my password? It's this weird thing. Now, this is the only time that you're ever really going to need to know this. So don't worry about writing it down in 10 different places. You'll really only need it for right now. Do it right there. And hackers, by the way, I'm going to erase this thing, so don't even bother. And the final thing that you need to do is set these keys. I wish I could give you an explanation of what's going on here. All I know is that it's something for security. They give you a link to actually generate these keys. So it's right here on line 40. You can generate these using HTTPS, blah, 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 blah. So just copy that, go to it in your browser. Copy it all. Highlight this all and just paste it in. Very simple. That's all you need to know. Or that's all you need to do. I'm going to hit save. There we go. That should be the end of all that silliness. So to review, we created a database and a database user. We uploaded and unpacked WordPress. We connected WordPress to WordPress, or we connected the database to the WordPress files through wp-config.php. And now we're going to go to wp-admin/install.php. And so I'll belabor this point that I want to make it clear that the way that these files and folders and everything work is exactly the same way as it worked on your computer when you were making websites locally. So we want to get to, I'll show you the file. It's inside flip wp-admin install.php. So how do we actually get to that? Well, we tell the browser where to go. Not up one level. Oh no, don't look at this. So iCanFAFSA.com is this that you're looking at right now. We want to go to something that's ultimately inside flip. So just the same, I would do flip / wp-admin wp-admin or slash, and where's the thing that we want? Install.php. And you can see the file path looks the same here too. And what happens when we go here? Yes, English. Actually, does it sound different in Canada? Let's see. Do United States. I'm just doing this because I know I'm going to erase this thing. As you can see, because it's Canadian English, everything's a bit more polite. So site title, name it anything. Username. Something that you'll remember, please. Password. Use a strong password. That didn't work. Very weak. I don't care. You. Not okay for you. Make it very strong. I don't care if this is very weak, because I'm just going to erase this. Don't allow search engines to index your site. There's no good to come with it. These are just sandboxes. Install WordPress. Log in. And there we go. You now have a fully functioning WordPress website. You also understand a lot better about how this stuff works. So, thank you very much for watching. Good night.